Hi guys, in this video we're going to look into the mixer brush. So on your brush over here you've got these little kind of little arrow thing, so that means it's got something underneath it. It's got extra tools in there that are very similar. So we've got the pencil, color replacement, so I am going to look at the mixer brush here. So this lets me blend things together like my analogous colors. So I'm going to blend red into a orange and then into a yellow. So if I click on here, it's starting to make that. You'll notice it's a bit light, so what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to use a normal brush just to sort of block a load of colours on as if I'm using some paint. So I'm going to block a load of sort of colour into there. I'm then going to select some orange. I'm going to block some orange in there as well, and then I'm going to get some yellow and I'm going to block the yellow in. Okay, so I'm now going to go to that mixer brush. I am going to hold Alt and I am going to select the orange here. So this is now going to prioritize orange when I'm blending. And now if I go over this, you can see these two are now starting to blend together. Okay, if I do the same thing with the yellow, if I was to use a red, let's have a look at how that would blend. Okay, it's not blending too bad, but you can see it's darkening it there. So this would be better if I kept it with my orange. So I've just hold Alt to select that, and I'm sort of blending that in there. I'm going up and down a bit like you're using kind of physical materials in the middle. The more I go over it, the more orange that's becoming there. You can see if I go off to the edge, it's blending it out to white because that's what's underneath it. So it's sort of mixing those two colors together. So if I wanted this to taper into more red there, I could hold Alt, select that color there, and then go over that with more red, blend more of that red in. Okay, so this is really useful when you're maybe studying models. So we can have a little look at this model here. You'll notice that there are lots of different kind of tones. So if we have a look at this part here, we've got a little bit of a darker grey around the edge here and lighter grey here. Therefore, we could maybe sort of start in the corner with our darker grey there. We could create a little selection and then we could blend that out there. You can do this kind of across multiple layers as well. So if we make a new layer, if I just delete that layer there, let's say we didn't want to touch them, maybe we've got a, let's go to brush, let's just, if we have sort of a yellow here and we want to maybe blend some darker parts into that, we may have this on another layer, so we might have some black there. Okay, if I blend here, what it's going to do, it's probably going to make a little bit of a mess. It's going to it's sort of trying to soften it off, but you can see it's prioritizing a lot of that. I could, on the black layer, select the yellow, and I could start trying to blend that into the color underneath. You can see it's kind of trying to do that. It's making a little bit of a mess of it. So these things the mixer brush tends to work better when you have these things on the same layer. So if I turn that black off, and now if I start to, let's lay some black down with a normal brush first. And now, again, it's prioritizing black, but it's mixing those two together. So you could create some really interesting sort of shaded effects, blending those colors together. You can see I can sort of drag it back to pull it more into the yellow there. And then obviously the more you work on it, the smoother you're going to get your transition. Okay, in this video we've looked into the AlphaBlending brush. Use this in conjunction with studying textures from models, trying to create that detail. It is just kind of shapes in there, different kind of shades of that shape. We can use that mixer brush to start creating some blending. If you're doing texturing right, it should be taking longer than the model itself. Okay, thank you very much.